Welcome to episode 221, Your Word of the Year.
It's time to sit down, pen and paper in hand, and set your intention for the year that is coming. This is something that, Joe, we've done every year for the past few years at least, haven't we?
Mm. Yeah, we have. Yeah. I kind of think I kind of saw people doing it, quite a few years ago and never really realized why or how it would be
Mhm.
helpful until we started to really get into a bit more woo woo, thinking about, the kind of spiritual manifestation kind of stuff that we do
Mm.
and how we actually want to set an intention for a year. So thank you for doing that work with me because it's such a fun part of thinking about the next year.
It is. It is. And this is the time of the year that often not only are we sitting down and doing our business planning and planning for the year ahead, but it's also the time of the year that we like to do something together that is a bit woo-woo-y. So we're going to be talking about our latest numerology reading with Sandy Atkins that we had recently as well, which is fantastic. Every time we sit down with Sandy, I feel as though our minds are literally blown. Like,
Yeah, it's so fun having sessions with Sandy. Yeah, absolutely love it. What is the word?
what is the
Why do we choose a word? What does it actually mean?
yeah. Well, I mean, I think the mean that you've just said, what does it mean? In my mind, it has to be meaningful. Like, I don't feel as though you just want to pick a word out of thin air because it sounds cool or it's the word that everyone's using right now. Like, it has to be meaningful for you. And in my mind, in order to come to that place where it's meaningful and it's going to make impact for the year that's coming, first you need to look back at the year that's been. Like, and you kind of go, okay, what went right? What went not so well? What were your lessons? And how do you want the year that's coming to look? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a great starting point in order for it to be meaningful and a word that you're picking with intent.
And sometimes the word doesn't come quickly.
I'm struggling.
Yeah, so I feel like don't rush trying to choose the word or choose it quickly because it has to be meaningful. So in the 2025 Virtual Assistant Business Planner, this is what we say about the word for the year. Think of it as your guiding word for the year. It's the word that will help you stay aligned with your vision. It's the intention behind everything you'll do and it's what will keep you grounded in what matters most.
God, who wrote that? That's great
Yeah.
copy. But, that's really I mean, like, I just got a little mini goosebumps. Like, that's how powerful when you choose the right word, that's how powerful that word can be for you. If you are coming back, like, every decision you make, "Okay, let me go back to the word. Is it in alignment? Is this decision that I'm making in alignment with the word? Is this word in alignment with the vision I want, not just for the year ahead, but my life?" Like, really, really powerful. What word did you have this year in 2024?
So this year, my word was ease.
Do you
I-
feel like 2024 has been filled with ease? Because ease is different to easy, isn't it?
Yes. Hasn't been easy, that's for sure. No. But ease, yes. I feel like this year we haven't forced things or done things just because we thought it was the right thing to do or what people wanted. We actually made decisions together with my mind in mind every time we had a discussion about something. Should we or shouldn't we do something? Coming back to that, like, is this going to feel like we can do this with ease, that nothing was forced or hard? And I think we did that because we made some big decisions about whether we were going to do like a big event next year that we normally do every year. We're not going to do a summit next year because it felt hard and it wasn't flowing with ease. and we started to work on it. So you've helped me. Thank you for helping me, have my word come to fruition over the year. Because, yeah, I think it has felt that we've done things with more ease for sure.
I mean, once again, going back, I feel like a broken record. That once again is the power this word has, right? That not only affected your year, but it also brought that ease into my year as well,
Mhm.
because we do work so closely together. So thank you
Mhm.
for picking that,
Mhm.
because I definitely felt a lot of ease. Like
Yes.
I think the year before in particular was a tough year for us. We had the burnout the year before, which is really, really hard. So it felt very just disjointed at times. It felt like high highs, low lows. The lows were like so tough to get through. None of that has this feel of ease about it. But this
Mhm.
year, not easy. Like we've had our struggles, we've had our challenges, but it hasn't felt forced. I agree with you
Yeah.
there. So thanks for
Yeah.
picking that word. It,
Mhm.
it benefited me too.
All right. What was your word? I'm sure anyone who listens to the podcast regularly is going to know what your word is for sure. What was
Yeah,
it?
I think so. So my word for 2024 was healthy. So healthy mind, healthy body, healthy habits, healthy workplace boundaries. So it wasn't just about it would have been very easy for me to just go, right, I want to lose weight. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to have a word around that. But I think my life in general just needed to be healthier.
More of a
So,
holistic kind of view of that healthy word, right?
yeah. And it was I think it's probably the most powerful word I've had since doing this over like 4 or 5 years, for sure.
Yeah.
It was so easy to go back to every decision, everything that I put in my mouth, every time I didn't want to go for a walk around the block, every time it would have been easy for me to not step outside and get some sun on my skin for 5 minutes at lunchtime. Just having that front and center, it just made every decision I made this year so intentional. It was, yeah, great.
Something
Best
that
decision I ever made, I think, was
yeah.
that word.
Something I feel like makes this thing, the word, choosing a word for the year, so powerful is that it is just one word. So it's so much easier to remember that one word than it is like kind of like a sentence or, a paragraph or a statement that you might make because it's difficult to remember that. One word, super
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, and you can have it on your vision board, you can have it on a Post-it note, you could have it on your screensaver on your phone, just so it's front and center at all times. Yeah.
Yeah.
The issue I'm having now is that I had such a great year. I had such a great word of the year for 2024. Like, I'm putting all this intense pressure on myself to pick the perfect word for 2025. And so this is like a block for me right now. Like, I'm really
Mm.
struggling to actually pick a word because I want it as amazing as this year's word is. This is the
Mm.
perfectionist coming out of me for sure.
Yeah, and we know how important it is to choose a word that you really resonate with, which is why you're not rushing. I think that's actually
Mm.
good that you're not rushing, as long as you don't put too much pressure on yourself, Sam. Also, let's talk about some things that can really help. So, for us, getting our numerology reading with Sandy again this year. So we've
Mm.
done it for the last couple of years, so that we could have our personal year. Anyone watching on YouTube, I'm just going to hold it up. Personal year chart can give you some really great words and starting points, I think.
Yes.
So as you go around the year, January, February, March, April, December, etc., it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1, 2, 3 starts again. And
Mm.
each of those numbers is associated with that word, but it happens differently around the year depending on what year you're in.
Right. Okay. It makes sense. How have we only
Yeah.
just figured that out?
Yeah. The VA Foundry personal year next year is going to be number 4. So that's effort, building foundations, and work.
Which sounds like a lot. Like I when these first arrived, from Sandy in the mail, and that was the first one we read out, and it was like, "Oh, that felt heavy." Those words all felt very heavy.
Not your natural instinct to do those things that are like,
No,
foundations and building and work stuff, yeah.
no, no.
It's like very processes and stuff.
Yeah. Which isn't
So
to say I'm
what's your
afraid of
yeah.
hard work, but it just
No, no,
felt
no.
all of a sudden. Yeah. But then I think we also have to remember that this year for the VA Foundry, it was about fun and playful and reaping the benefits of all the hard work we'd put in the 2 years prior. So, yeah, I love this
Which
year.
was
It's great.
so in alignment of how that actually worked out. Going to Bali and doing the retreat for the first time,
Yeah, yeah.
reaping the rewards of putting all of that hard work into creating Launch in 30 days, and then we're
Mhm.
rolling it out, in our different intakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my personal year next year is a 6, and it's health, service, and family. So some of the words that are jumping out at me: relationships, love, heal and harmonize. That really kind of called to me this morning. Creative, heal and harmonize. Yeah, I kind of like
Mm,
heal because I feel like heal could be used in terms of, because I'm still on this wellness journey, right? So there's still stuff I want to heal physically, but also mentally as well. There's some stuff that I know I need to let go of. I want to
mm,
let go of. There's some guilt around the old Sam that put everyone through hell before I got my hormones all leveled out, and I know I need to accept that that was just a part of my journey, but that's not the Sam now moving forward, and let
mm,
go of that guilt. So I feel like there is a lot of healing that I want to do next year. So maybe
mm,
heal, like that's on my list of maybes, but I've also got
mm,
manifest on my list of maybes for my word of the year for 2025. One of the things that Sandy, she said it a couple of times in our previous readings, but it came up again in this most recent reading. It's like, what was her word? Is it manifesting queen? Like I've got the potential to be a manifesting something or other.
master manifester or something like that. I
That's
think
it.
for your number, which is 22. You're the
Yes.
master number 22 with your numerology. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
the master manifester.
So manifest, like that would be,
Mm,
having that front of mind that basically I can create the life that I want. I just need to put that energy into manifesting in the ways that work for me.
yeah. You also had strength and strong was
Yes.
another thing that was coming up, right?
Yes. Well, if you've listened to the podcast this year, you'll know that strength training is kind of like one of the next things that I wanna focus on.
Mm,
Probably in January, having January off. I found that worked really well for me, creating some healthy habits this year. So it'd be a great time to really learn about strength training and set up some healthy strength training habits. So that kind of falls into that, but also, strong mind, strong systems and processes in the business that I can then would mean taking a step back in a lot of ways if those are in place. Me talking about systems and processes. Oh.
and the importance of
So yeah, those
Mhm.
so I've got a list. I've got a list of
Short
maybes that
list.
I kind of just need to sit on. And I've got fun on there as well. Fun was something that came up when we were in Bali at the retreat, because we did some of this work then, like what we wanted to bring into our lives. And when I think about that, fun definitely keeps on coming back up. So I don't know. I got options. What about
Mhm.
you? You've set yours already. You know your word for 2025.
Yeah, it came to me. I saw the word, or we're doing some kind of work in the one of the coaching calls for the Scale Up Mastermind, and the word alignment popped up, and I was like, "Oh, it just
Mm,
felt so good." And I
yeah.
think for me, alignment meant for me that next year I could focus on how do I have my life, businesses, friendships, my spirituality that I'm really stepping into more? How can I have that really
Mhm.
feel like I'm living in alignment with my values, what's really important to me. It's one of my top values is health.
Mm,
So how do I live my life and have my businesses in alignment with my values? So what decisions could I make through the year? What can I say yes and no to? What opportunities are going to come up? I'm going to keep that word in mind. Like, is this in alignment with my values and what I want for my life? That felt really good. It's so interesting because you said alignment at the beginning of the podcast like 4 times, and I was like, this is just
did I?
reminding me that it's so like it really resonates with me. I want to use that word for 2025. So my
Yeah.
word for 2025 is alignment.
I think this whole conversation has reinforced for me the importance. If anyone listening really struggles with decision making, whether to say yes or no, whether it's personal or business, boundaries, decision making, saying yes or no, any of that, if you struggle, like setting a word for the year and bringing that into every single decision that you make is a game changer. Like it really
Mm.
is. No more like overthinking, right? Is it in alignment? Yes or no? Is this going to is this healthy at all? Is this going to help improve the health of X, Y, and Z? Yes or no?
Yeah. Is
Boom.
it bringing me closer to the vision that I want for my life? Yes or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah. This isn't just woo woo, is it? Like this
No,
is
that's definitely not woo woo.
it's also just business planning 101. Like
Yeah.
you take the numerology reading out.
Mm.
This is business 101.
Yeah. So we hope this has inspired you to have a think about what might be your word for 2025. It's powerful. And when you do land on a word, you've chosen your word, it's really important to keep that front of mind. Like Sam says, on your phone, post-it notes somewhere. Like this can't just be something that you choose, you write down somewhere and then you
Mm.
just forget about for the rest of the year. Front of mind. My post-it note is staring at me. I've just noticed actually it's in a different color to all the other post-it notes. It's like the one in the middle, different color, so it stands out. Not intentionally. Any parting words, Sam, for those listening?
Yeah, this is how you stop living by default and start living intentionally.
Amazing.
Right, so we've just recorded our latest episode of the podcast where we talk about setting our word for the year for 2025, our words. And we decided that wouldn't it be fun if we pulled a card, given the conversation we've just had about setting our intentions for 2025, and just see what was to come up once we pull that card. So the pack that I've got in front of me right now is the Spirit Animal Oracle pack. And this is one that we don't use often because normally it's very deep and meaningful and quite spiritual. But this pack was calling to me today. So that's why I've got it beside me.
So you're going to pull a card for us, our guiding card for 2025, for us
Yeah.
together.
For us together. What do you reckon?
Yep,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay.
So Sam is shuffling like this. We're going to do this live.
Hey, it is Butterfly Spirit Transformation is Beautiful. And I'll hold that card up for those that are watching on YouTube. Okay.
2025 is a 9-year. The
You have,
first word on the 9-year is transformation.
I was going to say transformation. That sound like I feel like we talked about that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, have you got goosebumps? Or is it just me? Butterfly Spirit, page 35. No pressure reading out loud from a book. Okay, Butterfly Spirit, transformation is beautiful. The oracle message is joy and the beautiful lightness of being alive and creative in the world is the focus when Butterfly Spirit flutters before you. Transformation is inevitable as you grow into your most beautiful, empowered self. Indeed, you will go through some uncomfortable stages as you let go of the forms of your life that no longer fit the new you. Even relationships must go through shifts to match your new emerging self. If you focus on the beauty and not the challenges, stop taking yourself too seriously, and choose to be playful, loving, and joyous, you will soon know the miracle your soul wants to experience through you. Today is a day for joy, so alight. Look around and see the beauty that is everywhere and in everything, including you. Then it's got a protection message, which is transformation does not have to be as traumatic or dramatic as things may seem to be right now. Remember, change is the only true constant. When you resist it, you create a tension within you as you refuse to accept the inevitable. In this moment, you might have forgotten the beauty and joy of life as it moves through its seasons, as nature dictates. You are being faced with a choice now. You can struggle with the current conditions, refusing to surrender and see through the lens of lack and loss, or you can surrender to the grace that is calling you to allow life to take its course, moving through the sadness and disappointment. Surrender will soften you, inviting you to bask in gratitude and see through the lens of curiosity. These are the keys to tuning in to the infinite potential available to you now. Butterfly Spirit knows the beauty and delight you are on the brink of discovering. Let go and trust that it is there for you.
Amazing.
Thoughts?
Transformational year. It's the year of completion. You're no longer a caterpillar, you're going to be a butterfly.
Yeah.
Change coming. Interesting.
There you go.
So if this has really resonated with you and you would like to pull your own card for 2025, grab a pack of oracle cards or tarot cards or whatever you use and really tune into a key message that you want to have for 2025. And then we would absolutely love for you to share that with us. So send us an email, support@thevafoundry.com, or message it to us on any of our social media platforms. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sam and Joe VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the VA Foundry website to check out the mastermind and the amazing resources, courses, and coaching.
You can find us at thevafoundry.com.